Still about 3.5 hours until polls close this election day, but the clock's already ticking and really has been on next year's midterms and more. Joining us now, Syracuse University political science professor Grant Reher. Always love to see you, Grant. Thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me on your program.
Well, let's start here. I mean, not the sexiest of local years, but anything really catching your interest? I mean, how you feeling about the Syracuse mayoral race right now?
Well, I think that one's pretty much a foregone conclusion, just based on all the normal things that we would look at as indicators. And I think the only question is how much of a mandate does Sharon Owens come in with? What is the size of her victory? What do the turnout figures look like? But you know, I think it's pretty obvious that that's going to be the next. She's going to be the next mayor, and there's a lot of big issues facing the city of Syracuse over the next 4 years. The two big ones, Micron and I-81 and the redevelopment of the neighborhood under it. And so she is going to have her hands full just managing those two things.
There is a red hot race for mayor in New York City. I know that's a few hours from here, but it will affect New York State, maybe the country. What are your thoughts here on how this affects next year, maybe the governor's race, Congress? It's kind of wild.
Well, all the polls are pointing to the fact that Mamdani is likely to win. I'm going to answer your question from the assumption that he does win. I have this hunch it's going to be closer perhaps than they indicate, but a lot of implications, a lot of known unknowns, to quote Donald Rumsfeld. It's going to open up big questions about how the Democratic Party positions itself going forward, where the energy in the party is located, where the center of weight is located, the generational aspect of its leadership, and probably the people that get the most traction pursuing the nomination for the presidency in 2008. So there's a conversation that's been going on within the Democratic Party for a number of years, but this is really going to bring it to a head. And then there's the question about how Donald Trump reacts to this, what it means for New York City and the state in terms of Donald Trump either sort of waging war or trying to punish the city for electing this mayor. He's made it very clear he doesn't like Mamdani at all, doesn't like his politics, doesn't like his persona, and so there's that question, and then there's the broader question about whether other Democrats will look at this and perhaps primary some of the leaders that exist in the party. And so this is going to have just effects up and down the political ladder.
I want to take a look at next year's congressional midterms, because it could have an impact there. We've seen several states, mostly the red ones, already redistricting to gain or at least maintain seats and therefore their control of Congress. What do you think the play is from the blue states? I know there's a proposition in California, Proposition 50, I think, to allow them to kind of do that, but they seem to be right now the only ones. What about New York?
Well, New York is really, its hands are tied, because the Democrats would essentially have to either sue themselves in order to get around having a constitutional amendment, and that takes 2 election cycles to complete. So they're going to have to sue themselves and say, we were so bad before that we need to change what we're doing now, or they'll have to bide their time and try to pass a constitutional amendment. And I don't think the voters of New York will be as open to messing around with their districting process again as the voters in California appear to be. That proposition looks like it's headed for an easy passage. I have to say, as a political scientist and as a citizen, I'm not crazy about that. I don't think you advance democracy by hurting it. And I think that having a population essentially decide we're going to gerrymander the heck out of our districts because other states are doing it, it just puts you in a kind of a districting arms race that I don't think is good for the country in general.
Great analysis on all this. We could probably talk for hours and hours and days and weeks about all this and more, but my time's running out. I always appreciate having you on to talk about this stuff. I'm sure we'll do it again soon. Thanks, sir.
Yeah, no, it's good to see you again, and thank you.